Welcome back to another episode of Reddit Titan. In today's episode, the user asked the question, Woman of Reddit, what do you think would be the worst thing about being a man? And here are all the crazy answers. Feeling uncomfortable or ashamed for showing your emotions. It's a sad truth, but since the dawn of time, men have been encouraged to live up to the expectations of having to be tough or being a rock for the family. As a woman, I think we feel more comfortable crying and expressing our sadness. Men get sad too, and it's about time they feel free to express it as easily as women do. I could not fathom how a guy sits down to poop and their junk is just chilling inside the toilet? Do you lift them and rest them on the toilet seat? I have no idea how dudes do it. Do you get a backsplash on your ballsack? I asked these questions to my boyfriend. I'm convinced he thinks I'm a lunatic, but I just think balls would be incredibly inconvenient. Honestly, probably people just assuming that you'll do all the gross shit that no one else wants to do. Fixing up the car, unclogging the toilet, cleaning out the spiderwebs in the attic, scrubbing the mildew out of the bathtub. Guys are just expected to do it all without complaint because that's the manly thing to do. As a woman, I find it pretty unfair. Alongside that are hiding a people assuming that you can't have mental illness / disorders, not being allowed to cry / show emotions, / be insecure about your body. All of it is really unfair. I'm sorry, guys. Imagine pretty much being invisible. You get your self-worth from how well you perform at work. Perform good, and you're okay day to day. Start performing bad, and you want to kill yourself because your only interaction with people now is negative. Nobody cares about you. Nobody messages you, and when someone calls, they want something from you. I don't mind helping, but damn, call me up for a beer or some camping too sometime. The hardest part is when it only is family. Your friends are gone, so you always answer for family because it's what you do. But it's always, hey man, how was your Memorial Day? Even if asked. Hey, Kylie is moving this weekend to college and we'd like to try and get it done in one shot. Are you busy Saturday? Oh, you work? Oh, well okay, are you free Sunday? Cool, well, can you come Sunday then? We'd love to see you. We miss you so much. You never come out and see us. And you agree because you don't go see them. Because they all get together on Saturdays while you work. So now you feel bad for working and you now lose your day off from being bossed around and unpaid by people who always invite you to that happens on Saturday. Then make you feel bad about it. So now you're the asshole. While all this happens, while you're carrying the 1,200-pound Bowflex that has been used in the family for 5 years of 5 flights of stairs, none of these people wished you happy birthday last year. No one would bat an eye if you said you were sexually assaulted or harassed. If you were a male and you were a victim of sexual harassment or you were a victim of sexual assault and you went to go tell someone what happened to you, chances are that you will be ignored because society stereotypes think you're just lying and all males like being touched. Which is horse. With all the news articles I see about women being raped, I ask myself, what about the males? Sexual assault doesn't have a gender. It should be taken seriously for both genders. Hands down, always being the villain. A colleague of mine was a bit on the heavier side, but decided to get into shape and started jogging. So he jogs around his block daily until his smartwatch tells him his quota for the day is full. That day he was a bit late, but went for a jog when the sun was setting. Not many people out there. But as he was on his way, some girls saw him jogging their way, got scared, and called the cops on him for obviously trying to chase them to them or something. Now, the guy didn't know about the call. He just sees 2 girls seeing him coming, turning around and running away, and he's like, what the fuck? Until the cops come for him, for the biggest offense in the whole human history, trying to get fit. I felt really bad for him. Being a father of a daughter or even babysitting, the complete mistrust that people give them is astonishing. If she started throwing a tantrum in public, people always assume the worst. I want my daughter to give my husband hugs and love him the same as she would love me in public, but people just view it differently. Emotional unavailability of others. As a woman, I definitely face a lot of hardships that men don't have to deal with. But when I'm at my point of breaking, sobbing, and inconsolable, I know I can message one of my friends, usually one of the girls, and cry and to them about it, and they'll listen to me and really connect with me. They will tell me how shitty the person who did that is, how difficult it must be to deal with, how strong I am for persevering in the face of adversity. On the other hand, I spend my life trying to be a non-judgmental source of venting for my male friends, and I found that basically everyone who I'm like that with ends up either thinking I'm into them romantically or expressing how grateful they are for something they get so little of. Guys are just told to suck it up and push their emotions down, and I think it is harmful to all of us. Depends on the situation, of course, but I have seen some real expectations of what a real man should and should not do. Granted, it's gotten better, but in some circles, it's still real bad. I remember being 20 years old and a bunch of us were trying to convince our guy friend not to go out and get into a fight with some dude that would certainly kick his ass. My friend broke down and said he had to. Dude messed with his older brother. His brother was a shady MF, so who knows who messed up with who first. And if he didn't step up and defend his family, he wouldn't be much of a man. This guy wasn't breaking into his house or anything. It was just over some disrespect bull between the guy and our friend's brother. That is f***ed. Also, being overweight and out of shape for a dude is pretty much embraced where I'm from. If you're trying to get fit or even be healthy, people are going to call you gay. Even women are going to call you gay. It's mad toxic. Just the tip of the iceberg. But living your life 40, 50 pounds overweight does a lot of damage over time. And that sucks. As a man who gets divorced and files to have custody of children, 99.999% of the time the judge will rule in favor of the mother because it's generally regarded that children should be with their mother. That's got to be really tough. Since all the general stuff has already been answered, I'm going to talk about specific stuff that would affect me personally. I'd be expected to be friendly with my coworkers. I work in an industry that is incredibly male dominant, and worse, the majority of the men in it have a conventionally masculine interest like sports and hunting. I have one male coworker who, like me, is a nerd and has no interest in any of that. He actually gets a hard time for it on occasion, while no one bothers with me. It's really easy to make colleagues think you're a nice, sociable person as a woman. Say good morning, smile when you pass in the hall, say uh-huh when they talk. Don't actually have to go out of your way to connect. The predatory stuff that a lot of people are talking about in this thread is something I already have a partial understanding of. I'm a lesbian, and the predatory lesbian stereotype is still a thing in the minds of a lot of the not very open-minded people. I'm not particularly butch, though, so strangers wouldn't get that impression from me the way they do from men. Judging by comments on Reddit, women, it seems the majority think every bloke who so much as glances at them is about to hit on them. And if a man they don't know dares to speak to them in public space, especially if it's to give a compliment, they presume he's not only going to hit on them, but do so aggressively, and in an intimidating/scary fashion. I'd hate to have to walk near one on the street after 4 in the afternoon, because I'm just waiting for an opportunity to attack them, and I better not even look at their kids, because I'm obviously calculating how I would snatch them or at least have a crafty fiddle. And if that depressed the fuck out of me and I told one of them, I'd probably be accused of being weak and get told to man up or grow a pair, and then still be expected to be emotionally strong for every who wants to pile their baggage onto me. Getting your toddler in the toilet water when you sit on the bog would piss me right off too. What do? Rinse it under the tap? I'm not sure it's the worst thing, but I found, even though I strongly believe in equality, that I still turn to my husband to know about home maintenance and car repairs, and to do a lot of the dirty work and labor, including some of the heavier emotional labor type stuff, like killing spiders, chasing down scary sounds, or going to get our dying pet euthanized. I relent if I'm reminded that I can do some of this stuff too, but it's just how I've been trained. The hard stuff is for men to deal with. That being said, there are a lot of physical things that are 10 times more difficult for me as a petite woman than my husband or most men, So it makes sense that I turn to him for that kind of thing. But I do think it would suck a little to have that expectation on you that if you're the only man in the room, you have to do the heavy lifting. Literally. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, please like the video, subscribe for more content coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.